Good morning. So this is Tony Sargent, and I'm looking forward to sharing my story with you. And I'm a luxury real estate broker in New York City, and have been doing this for 20 years. My mission is bringing people home smoothly. So my whole passion is about people. I say I work with people in transition in their lives. I happen to transact in real estate. And as complex as our deals are in New York, my whole goal is how do I get you home smoothly and successfully and never losing sight of that focus. As you heard, I grew up in multiple countries. I grew up in Kenya, Switzerland, Norway, and England by the time I was 18. So 10 moves, 5 countries, and 6 languages by the time I was 18. That sort of informed how I live in the world. And so Kenya gave me the creativity and love of nature and a bit of my soul. Switzerland, where we lived for many, many years, is almost like my home. That gave me the organization and this drive to be perfectionist that I have, as well as my work ethic. What did all this give me? All these 18 years of living in multiple cultures and countries with people with different languages and accents was really a global view of the world and life. And so every situation that I get into, whether it's for my clients or otherwise, I'm able to look at things from multiple perspectives, keep focused on the goal at hand, and get us to the finish line. And that's so critical in New York City real estate with all the hurdles that get thrown at you. So that foundation was perfect for a diverse city like New York City that took my heart in 1982 or 83 when I first came here and saw the diversity of people and all of the beautiful architecture here and just this opportunity. And after almost 15 years here, I went into real estate choosing it. It chose me, I chose it. My numbers in 20 years, I've done over $375 million in closed sales. That's mostly resales. I have not been a big developers broker. I've had the opportunity to, but I chose to work with clients one-on-one because I really love first-time buyers as well as high net worth individuals, but mostly people that are buying for themselves rather than investors buying blocks of buildings where that's just about money. For me, it's all about the heart. So that makes me feel great. When I've closed on people's homes, I know that I'm creating a dream for them and their home, their family to come true. And down the road, they'll look back on that home as something that they really, that's their memory. So that's what really drives me and matters to me. How do I do it? So to me, I have an analytical background as well as a creative one. So basically for me, it's about in-depth market knowledge. So on one hand, it's the analytical brain. On the other side, I'm an artist and a photographer and a creator. So I have a great sense of internal design. So bringing those two together, I can crunch the numbers and help my clients understand what the numbers are. At the same time, help them, they get 2 in 1 package. I can help them make their place look exactly what buyers want to see at their price point. So through market specific staging and adding value. Just to give you some examples, this was a property that was on the market for 2 years with another broker. Unfortunately, it did not sell. As you can imagine, the seller was extremely frustrated by the time she contacted me. And putting my sort of experience to hand, I was able to turn this, take a good look at this picture right now, into this. For only about $7,000, we transformed her 3-bedroom home. After 2 months, where we had a little trouble selling it, I managed to convince the neighbor to put their place on the market, and we sold that together for $6 million, and we did that in 4 months. Another example that's current, this is an apartment that I was asked to sell last year. This photograph is what it looked like before I was brought in. Unfortunately, it had not sold. They were getting no traffic. I met with the owner and we talked about what we could do. So this is a picture of how we transformed their den, which had been all brown wallpaper and kind of looked displaced. We used a Compass Concierge program called Compass Concierge, where we are able to lend the money for free to a client for up to a year. And we did the painting, we restained all the floors, and we professionally staged the apartment with great furniture. And so that first picture, I'll take you back one from there, before. This is the after of the same room. And so I'm proud to say that even during COVID and this lockdown, we were able to put together a contract, and actually only $40,000 below where another offer came in on March 11th. So I was pretty proud of that. On the buy side, because I do work with buyers and I love buyers as much as sellers. And so I kind of am able to use my experience on both sides of this equation. On the buy side, an example of where I've sort of added value to a client is I had an international buyer who had met me only once in an open house call me 4 or 5 weeks later and say, hey, would you design my place? I see you have a great staging eye. I said, sure, no problem. Where did you buy? And then he told me, you know what? Unfortunately, we were in the middle of negotiations and the seller on this place would not even talk to me anymore, won't take my broker's calls. I've fired her and I wouldn't want to hire you. And so following revenue rules, we entered into that negotiation. The first seller's broker did not want to talk to me, but basically after putting it all together, within 36 hours, we had an offer accepted and we had it closed for $8.85 million in 22 days. All cash. The buyer was able to fly from overseas, move in with all the furniture that you see in place, still there, and they could literally just roll right into bed. My current listings I have from $860 to $4.5 million. I'm getting a lot of requests right now from sellers because a lot of people are trying to figure out what do they do? Do they sell? Do they rent? Do they buy? What do I do? So right now I have a range of listings. And importantly, the question becomes, how's the market? So if you take a look, normally in this time of year, in sort of March, April, May, we would have 7,000 listings on the market. This March, April, May, we had 5,000. So all of that, as you can see, there's May, June, and July. These numbers are week by week increases in the level of inventory. So inventory in the last 3 weeks has skyrocketed to kind of make up for the lost time. The question is what's happening on the contract side. And if you look at this chart, the blue lines are 2015, green is 2017, yellow 2019, and orange is this year. As you can see, 2 to 4 million, 4 to 6 million, 6 to 8 million. The trend has actually been for volume going down anyway, but this year we're, basically you're May 1st to July, we're about a third of where we'd normally be for contracts. So that means we're gonna have a lot of catching up to do. Clearly sellers and buyers need an experienced agent today. And that's why I would ask you to refer your clients to me, because with 20 years of experience, I'd like to help you. So without further ado, I'd like to give you a little bit of a peek of this.
I've always had a camera since I was 7 years old, and on my days off, I would walk the streets of New York and just look up and take pictures. So I started coming to New York in the early 1980s, and I decided to move here from Switzerland in 1986. The things to me that got me about New York is everything from the World Trade Center to the smallest tenement, this diversity of architecture and people and the sea of humanity and the dance that we all do here. It's about like 300 cities in one, and that excites me.
I'm someone who doesn't like unwanted surprises, and the real estate process is full of them. Tony did an incredible job of managing expectations, which eliminated, if not at the very least minimized, any surprises, which was awesome.
Compass, hands down, is providing me the best tools that I've ever had in 20 years of this industry to be able to quickly serve my clients, get them, if they're buyers, find them the properties they need, get it sent to them through a Compass collection, or on the sell side, be able to stage a property without all the hassle. Where's the money coming from with Compass Concierge? So just those are two tools individually right there that make my job easier.
The process, it was so easy. His positivity, his how I could rely on someone like him, and how quick the whole process was. In 3-4 weeks, we already had a buyer, and it was already sold.
5 words to describe Tony: patient, professional, kind, incredible integrity, and honest.
So finally, who's a great referral for me? There's a lot of people right now looking to sell or buy. So if you hear of anybody that just needs really great advice, and someone who's going to talk to them, not about looking at them as a deal, but someone who's looking at them like a private banker would in terms of what's right for their future, have them reach out to me. So best referrals right now are financial advisors, business managers who are working with high net worth individuals, especially celebrities. I've dealt a lot with that as well. Estate and divorce attorneys. I'm very good at dealing with couples in conflict and really getting both sides to speak to each other and agree what we need to do, as well as someone relocating to another city. I can refer people out. I've got a network of 2,000 agents around the country, around the world. So if you've got someone leaving New York, think about me and I'll put them in touch and we'll get a referral here. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to give this presentation to you. I hope it was helpful.